The Sports Ministry is insisting it paid state broadcaster GBC over $3 million in its broadcast of the 13th All-African Games. Its Director General, or the Director General of GBC, Professor Enim Al-Hassan, earlier indicated that they had only received $105,000 from the broadcast of these games. Now, responding to a query from member of the Public Accounts Committee, Sam Nate George, about the payment status for coverage, the Sports Minister indicated that full payment had been made. Here are excerpts of that. Well, where we are right now. It says we refer to the Public Accounts Committee sitting on Monday, 19th of August, 2024, where the Minister for Youth and Sports, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, led the National Sports Authority and the National Youth Authority, two agencies under the ministry, to respond to issues raised by the Auditor General. At the sitting, the Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram constituency, Sam Nate George, asked a public interest question regarding the payment to Ghana Broadcasting Corporation for their production and broadcasting services rendered at the 13th African Games, to which the minister responded that GBC was paid in excess of $3 million. Now, the ministry attention has been drawn to the comments made by the Director General of GBC, stating that they did not receive the said amount. We wish to make the following statements to clarify the issues. Now, the Sports Ministry trying to give us some clarity as to what is happening. One, the ministry says that the Ministry of Youth and Sports, through the local organizing committee, received proposals from various stakeholders for the production and broadcasting rights for the 13th African Games. Now, they go on to say some organizations submitted proposals in excess of $6 million, which the ministry deemed excessive. Also, the ministry, in its quest to build local capacity and leave a legacy after the 13th African Games, engaged GBC, I beg your pardon, to become the official broadcaster for the Games. The other reasons for the ministry's decision was that GBC's financial quotation for production and transmission was the lowest. So they're giving us a background as to what happened. They go on to say, with the understanding that GBC will use the services of third parties to assist them implement the obligation, the total agreement was $3.6 million. Subsequently, an agreement was reached between the two institutions, the ministry and GBC. Now, from the total amount, $2.5 million was paid directly to GBC in two tranches. First, $1 million and the other $1.5 million on the 13th of March 2024 and 22nd of May 2024, respectively. Now, this raises questions as to why the GBC did not admit to receiving this money, but we'll interrogate that in subsequent bulletin. But for now, let's just go through the statement from the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Another amount of $1 million was paid to third parties upon the instruction of GBC in accordance with the contract. As a public institution, we are committed to transparency and accountability in the discharge of our mandate. Well, let's broaden the conversation here on Newsdesk and bring in the Executive Assistant of the Sports Minister. Thank you so much for your time, Abdullahi. He joins us via Zoom with more. Abdullahi, thank you for your time here on Newsdesk. We've just been going through the statement that the Ministry of Youth and Sports put out. disputing claims that GBC initially put out. So let's get clarity. You say you have paid them $2.5 million, but then initially the agreement was $3.6 million. So have they received the other tranche? You would have to unmute for me so that I can hear you clearly.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Faustina. And let me say good morning to you and your colleagues, or your supporting colleagues, and to your cherished audience. As you read in the press release by the Ministry of Youth and Sports, in our quest to leave a long-lasting legacy after the successful host of the 13th African Games, we engaged GTV, where the contract stipulated that a total amount of $3.6 million will be paid for the services or the scope of the contract to be executed by the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. So the minister 2 days ago was at Public Accounts Committee, where a public interest question was asked by Honorable Sam George, which regards to local staff complaining that they have not received payment for the services they rendered. So the minister indicated that in excess of $3 million have been paid with regards to the contract being signed, a contract that was signed by the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. In the release, we've given dates of when the payments were made and how it was made.
Okay.
I'm yet to see, and in a letter written by the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation to the Public Accounts Committee, which I'm pretty sure that you have at your disposal.
Yeah.
There was an indication that of the total payment made for the games. Now let's refer back to the total payments for the games, which is 3.6 million.
Okay.
GBC was only entitled to $105,000 US. Not from our statement, but the letter written by GBC to the Public Accounts Committee, which the minister was copied in that letter. Paragraph 4 says that of the total payment made for the games, GBC was entitled to $105,000 US. Therefore, the statement that GBC was paid in excess of $3 million.
Well, we've been going through that document as well, Abdullah, and we have these facts. However, my concern is with the disparity with figures. GBC says they are entitled $105,000. You say that you have paid them $2.5 million. You paid in 2 tranches. I want you to clarify for me. Have you paid them the $3.6 million or the $2.5 million according to your statement?
Okay, we need to understand here that GBC indicated in their letter that they engaged third parties in the execution of the contracts.
But payment for third parties, is it done directly by the Sports Ministry or by GBC?
The contract stipulates the process and how those third parties will be paid. I must place it on record that the ministry did not engage third parties directly.
Okay.
It was the responsibility of GBC. And we had no role. We do not even know who the third parties, how they look like and who they are. What we know is that GBC engaged a third party because they indicated to us that the capacity of the contract we've given them is beyond their capabilities. So they would have to bring in third parties to come assist them execute the contracts. Ours is for
this
the
money you
contract
paid,
successfully
according to your statement, the $2.5 million you paid directly to GBC.
Directly to GBC.
So you did not pay them $3.6 million as agreed. I want you to clarify. Did you pay them $3.6 million agreed upon as we speak right now?
As we paid in accordance to what the contract stipulates.
But in your statement,
$2.5 million was paid to GBC when they requested for us to pay directly to them. When they requested that $1 million should be paid to a third party directly, in an official letter, it was executed in accordance to the contract or what was stipulated in the contract. GBC has not, however, GBC has not denied the fact that they have not received payment from us with regards to the contract they signed with us. What they are saying is that the contract we signed with them and the quantum or the sum of the contracts, they engaged third parties, and the third parties were entitled to portions of the money, which they have equally executed and made payments for that.
Only GBC can give us clarity as to what they actually mean. I'm more interested in the Ministry of Sports.
Nonetheless, what they were entitled to, or they are parts of the entire contract that they executed, is the $105,000. This clearly indicates that the ministry has executed or has fulfilled its part of the bargain. We do not have issues with regards to GB. We have not seen any contrary fact that says that GBC claims we have not fulfilled our part of the bargain. And on this note, I believe that the Director General, in his interview, where he created the impression that the minister misinformed the public, should apologize. Because the evidence that is out there, I've seen people have intercepted documents, letters that were written by the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, signed by the professor himself, to the Ministry of Youth and Sports, demanding for payments, which the ministry obliged. So with the evidence available and the evidence in the public domain, I believe we should be asking the Director General questions. Did he indeed receive it or not? He should come and tell us he's not received it. Then whatever evidence that must be brought to expose the person who is misleading the public will be placed out there. What we have been informed is that, or what even triggered some George's question, is that local staffs who were engaged during the games by the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation indicated that the GBC has not fulfilled the.
Oh, unfortunately, we've lost Abdullahi Jamaluddin. He is with the Ministry of Youth and Sports. He's been giving clarity as to their stance. They're insisting that they've indeed paid the state broadcaster, GBC, over $3 million for his broadcast of the 13 All-African Games. My name